Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching and welcome back to my channel. So today I have my first autumnal makeup look of 2018 and Sigma were kind enough to send me their Warm Neutrals Volume 2 palette. So I used this today to create this eye look, and then I thought I would play around with more of a darker lip. Just for something different because I always do more of a nude lip. So hopefully you like the look. I just wanted to sit down and film more of an autumnal, like Halloween-y, vampy look. Because I won't be doing any Halloween looks this year, unfortunately, because I am away the most of October. So I'm away from the 12th of October until the end of October. So I literally don't have time to do any Halloween looks, unfortunately. But I am going to be away in Thailand, Singapore, and also Bali. So you'll be having, so I will be doing some vlogs for you guys. So hopefully you don't mind some different content, but I thought I might as well film out there and get some footage. Seeing as I'm on the other side of the world in like unreal places, I've got to film it. So hopefully you guys don't mind. So that's why I thought I would do more of a like vampy kind of look for October in honour of Halloween, because I can't do any scary looks. So hopefully you don't mind. I really hope you like the look. If you do like this look, please leave a comment down below, letting me know what you thought. Give it a thumbs up and also subscribe. I can't talk because I'm like really hungry. And please subscribe if you are new here. So that is everything from me. Right now, obviously you're going to go on to the tutorial. I'm just going to stop talking now. So if you do want to see how I got this look right here, then just keep on watching. I am already wearing foundation and I applied my eyebrows as well. I did try out, so I got sent some products by Sigma and they sent me, let me just grab it. And they sent me, this is the box, and the dimensional brush set. So basically, I've never seen anything like this before, but if you can have a look, they've got like different angles on them. So when I first saw them, I was like, I'm confused. But I tried out this one, which is the Edge Kabuki brush, and it's obviously like an angled, a flat top brush. So I applied this. I used this to apply my foundation. It is really nice. It gives you more of a natural coverage, so I did have to build it up a little bit more. So if you like more of a sheer coverage, I find this is the best sort of brush to use, because you kind of swipe it and then dab it on any areas where you want a bit more coverage. And then I thought I would wait to apply my concealer. I applied a little bit just to try it out, but I'm going to try this sort of brush because it is, I don't even know what you would call it. It's just basically a pointed brush, which I haven't really seen before. Please excuse my really pale hands. I'm trying not to wear fake tan because I'm going on holiday soon. So yeah, excuse the paleness. But anyways, I'm going to use this to apply my concealer. So the concealer that I'm going to use is the, I always want to say Shart. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape concealer, and mine is in the colour Light Neutral. And I find you need literally like the tiniest amount of this. And then using this brush, which one is this? The 4D HD Kabuki. Cool name. And I'm basically just gonna apply this in dabbing motion. So rather than swiping, so that way, when you dab, you keep the coverage at where you put it. Whereas if you swipe the concealer away, you end up moving what you've already done. But normally I would use a sponge to apply my concealer, but I actually quite like this because you'll find a sponge will soak up a lot of the product and you can get up really close to your lash line. So now that I am looking like a ghost, I am going to powder my face using my normal La Mer translucent powder, and I'm just going to lightly set that all over my skin. I don't like to use loads of powder just because I just feel like it adds a lot of texture. Yeah, let's just bronze now. So I'm going to use my normal bronzer, which is Dark Deepest. If any of you have some recommendations on bronzers, then let me know, because I'm always really scared to buy new bronzers. I don't know, I like something that is like quite bronzy, more golden, rather than like those bronzers that are more cool tone, just because I prefer them. So yeah, if you've got any recommendations then let me know. And also ones that are pigmented as well. I don't really like bronzers where you have to like proper swirl your brush, and I literally just like to dab it very lightly. So I am just popping this on my cheeks as normal. And then I always like to put it around my forehead as well. And that just warms everything up. Because I know I want to go in with a dark lip today, so I find when I use a darker lip it always tends to wash, it will wash you out naturally. So you can kind of get away with a little bit more bronzer when you're doing a darker lip, because you just need to add a bit more colour into your skin. Because obviously it's a massive contrast against your skin when you use a darker colour. It will naturally just make you look paler than usual. And you can always go back in with your powder brush if you feel like you've gone a bit too ham on the bronzer, like I always do. And then I'm going to do, I always see Jaclyn Hill do this and it always looks so nice, because it just kind of cleans up your bronzer. Okay, so I'm just going to pop some loose powder on my sponge, and then I'm just going to swipe right underneath the contour, because I feel like I naturally always bring it down too low. So if you feel like you bring your contour down too low, then you can literally just use a little bit of powder to clean it up. I'm just going to leave that to sit there for a few minutes. Obviously the longer you leave it, the more intense it's going to be, and also the longer the longer it's going to last, because it is baking your face. Okay, so I'm probably going to do highlight last. Should I do highlight now? Yeah, let's do highlight now. For highlight, I'm actually going to use a pigment by MAC, just because I love using it as a I love using it as a highlight. So this is Melon Pigment, and I am going to use that on a fluffy brush. Where are you? No, I'm going to use that on a fan brush, just because it is very intense, so I find using a fan brush it doesn't pick up too much. I'm just going to lightly dab that. I just like to use this before my normal highlight, because it's nice and golden. I just feel like it makes any highlight glow a lot more. So as I said, I obviously got sent some products by Sigma, so I just want to say a massive thank you to Sigma for sending me some products. I really appreciate it. It was really sweet to send such a big package, and I was not expecting it. So yeah, I'm going to use some of their products today, as obviously they are new. So the eyeshadow palette I'm using is called Warm Neutrals Volume 2, and it looks like this. Oh, it is just right up my street. So the first eyeshadow I'm going to go in with is this really nice light bone colour shade. And this is called Humble, and I'm going to use that on a Morphe M433 brush. And I'm just going to basically dab that all over the eyelid, just on top of where we applied the concealer, and up to the brow bone as well. The next colour I'm going to go in with as my transition shade is the colour Toasty. I'm going to use that on the same M433 brush, just to pop through the natural crease of my eye. So that way when I put darker colours on later, this will just help them blend a lot easier. This is just the way that I apply eyeshadow, and the easiest way I find to apply my eyeshadow. So it's up to you how you apply it, but I like to put the lightest transition shade on first, so that way your darker colour has something to blend onto later on. So I'm following the natural crease of my eye, just back and forth. As you can see, I'm looking straight into my mirror and literally following the natural crease just back and forth like that. And then repeat that step again. And then once I've kind of got the colour all on there and I'm kind of happy with the intensity, I then blend out the edges because obviously it's looking a little bit harsh at the moment. So then I kind of start in the crease and work my way upwards, back and forth, and kind of in circular motions and in windshield wiper motions as well. The next colour, I want to deepen it up even more, and I'm going to go in with this shade called Henna, which is a really nice chocolatey brown. I'm going to use that with a Morphe M514 brush. This is smaller and it's more of a kind of, it's not tapered, but it is a smaller version compared to the first one that I used. So that way it's just going to fit in the crease that little bit more. It's still fluffy, so it's going to help blend, but it is more kind of specific to the crease area. So I'm then going to do the same thing by working it in to the crease of the eye. So following that crease all the way around. I wasn't expecting these eyeshadows to be as pigmented, because when I first swatched them they looked quite wish-washy, you know how they don't look like really solid. So I was worried they weren't going to blend great, but so far they're actually really nice. They're really easy to blend. So hats off to Sigma, because I only really used to know them as a brush brand, so it's cool that they've kind of gone into makeup as well. Okay, so what's happening? Okay, I need to stop saying okay. Next, I'm going to actually mix a little bit of the colour Rouge in with the henna shade that I used before. Just kind of dabbing them like so, just to make it a little bit more kind of burgundy without being too burgundy. I'm going to use that on the same brush. Don't worry about if it looks really harsh. What I'm doing is literally just like working it into the crease first. So just getting the colour where I want it, and then I will go in and blend the edges. I'm going to go in with a clean brush now. So this is a MAC 221 brush. And I am going to go back in with my first colour, which was the shade called Toasty. And I'm going to mix a little bit of this really nice pinky mauvey colour. It's like the same colour as my shirt. But I'm going to mix a little bit of that just to add a tiny little bit of like a pink peachy touch to the edges. And to also blend out these harsh lines, because it's not looking cute. And then I'm literally going to run that over the edges of the eyeshadow. So when I do this step, I'm kind of barely touching, just doing it very lightly, because I don't want to move too much of the product, and I don't want to kind of get rid of any of the depth. I also want it to be quite blown out as well. So I always start off a little bit lower in my crease than I feel like I need to, because I know when I blend it out, I'm going to blend it out a lot higher, rather than starting off like really high, because sometimes if you go too high it's harder to correct and harder to kind of blend down. So it's easier to always blend up and kind of add later on. Okay, so I'm going to do the same sort of thing. 2 seconds. So I'm going to do the same sort of thing on my bottom lash line. So I'm going to go in with the colour Passion Fruit. Sorry, I don't think I said the name of this, but this is called Passion Fruit. And I'm using that on a pencil brush. So this is the MAC 219 brush. And I'm going to run that underneath the eyes, because I do like it quite buffed out and quite blown out underneath the eye. So don't be scared to really buff out the lower lash line. I just realised Sigma sent me this brush, which is the E45 small tapered blending brush. I thought this would be quite nice underneath the eye, to like buff out underneath there. And then also to add a little bit of definition. Oh my god, it's so soft. I wonder if this is synthetic. I have to find out. Underneath my eye, using a MAC 212 brush. This is a really nice stumpy definer brush. I'm going in with the colour Russet. It's just a really nice dark purple with some specks in. Right, I'm not very good at describing colours. And I'm going to mix a little bit of the rouge shade with it as well. So I'm going to apply this first and then kind of blend it out with the rouge shade. And I'm going to tap off the excess and press that into my lower lash line. I'm going to repeat that step a couple times until I'm happy with the intensity. Okay, then using that same tapered brush as before and the colour Rouge, I'm going to dip into that on the very tip. I'm going to literally dab off the excess on my hand and then run that under the edges to buff out any harsh lines. The only thing I find with some dark colours like the russet or like the henna, as I was saying earlier, obviously when I swatch them they are a little bit like wish-washy, and the only thing is when you blend them out, I've blended out the actual like intensity of it, which is a little bit annoying because I find like you want the like depth there, but as soon as you blend it out you kind of blend away the darkness, if that makes sense. I'm going to try going in with a little bit of the henna shade, the more brown colour, just to deepen it up even more, just because I do want that lower lash line to be darker. More of a brown. Bit of a mistake using that ready colour because I feel like I've got a look just like that I've just uploaded on my Instagram, so I don't want it to be like the same. So I'm just going to go in with the brown tones in the palette just to take away that kind of purpley ready colour. But you can always keep that if you prefer, that's completely up to you. Because I haven't used this palette before, I'm just kind of like playing around. Yeah, that's the only thing, the downfall about this palette is the fact that when you obviously blend it away, when you blend it out, you kind of blend away the intensity, which is a little bit annoying. I really like this colour. When looking at the colour in the palette, I was like, it's very average, but it's really nice, like, on top of other colours. And I really like that brown shade that I used, the After Hours, which is this one here. So I am going to use that on the same brush as before, the same Morphe M514 brush. And I'm just going to use that to deepen up the crease because I really like that kind of tone. I feel like it will just make it look a little bit more like brown rather than burgundy. Doopy doopy doop doop doop. Ah, where the fuck is that fucking brush? So I do want to do something a little bit more fancy. Well, it's not necessarily fancy, but I just want to do more of like a cut crease because I know the last one I done, I don't really know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I'm going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape and a MAC 242 brush. And I'm going to basically cut out my crease. When I shut this eye, I feel like I can hardly see anything. So I wonder if this eye needs glasses. Then I'm going to take it up like more than halfway, and then once I haven't got much left on my brush, and then I'm going to start dabbing to blend the two together. Okay, so I'm then going to set that with the shade Humble. Okay, so I'm actually going to use the shade Passion Fruit, and I'm just going to go back in with that colour, what was this called? I'm just going to go back in with the colour Henna and blend that edge away, so it just looks a bit more seamless. So I've just put the lighter colour just around the edges, just to create more of a contrast between the dark colour and the pink, because I felt like they were just like merging together and it was kind of defeating the point of having a cut crease. So I've kind of got the pink on the lid, on the actual lid, and then the white kind of, well, the cream colour on the very edge. Cool, so I'm just going to go ahead and apply a little bit of eyeliner and my lashes so you can see the finished eye look. I just applied some lashes and also some mascara as well. So the lashes I used, I checked the box away, but these are new ones, but I used, what are they called? I don't know the style. I don't know if that's what the style is, but if it is, it says Make Them Stare, but I don't know if that is. But anyways, they are Doll Lash by Doll Beauty. So that's pretty much the eyes done. I'm going to go ahead and do my lips now. I'm thinking I'm going to go in with the colour Sin by MAC and then use the colour Night Moth as my lip pencil. I'm going to roughly draw it because I don't want it to be too purple. I just wanted like a hint. And then, ooh, I might use, I do have Film Noir. What's that got? So I'm going to use the colour Film Noir. So that is the look finished, guys. I really hope you liked it. I just want to say a quick thank you to Sigma for sending me these products. I wasn't sponsored to do this video. They literally just sent me products, and yeah, that was it really. As a quick like review for the eyeshadow, I do really like the colours. I absolutely love like the colour palette. I will say they are really easy to blend and they are pigmented. The only thing is that you have to be careful is if you obviously apply the darker colours and then you blend them out, they do kind of blend away slightly. So obviously they don't look as dark as they appear to be like in the palette. So just bear that in mind, kind of be careful when you are blending them out. But as like a finished look, I feel like the eyeshadows performed really well. They were really easy to blend. That's the #1 thing. As long as they're easy to blend, it's absolutely fine. Like they weren't patchy, they were really like creamy. And yeah, I was really happy with the palette. So thank you Sigma for sending me them. I really appreciate it. That is pretty much the video finished. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this look, please subscribe to see more and like this video as well, and leave your comments down below. Let me know what you thought, and you can also leave a little comment letting me know what you want to see next. So yeah, that is everything from me. Thank you so much for watching, and you'll see me in my next one. Bye!